Yeah, I was going to ask you. This is kind of I have a different fall camp for you. Usually, when you're a senior, everything's kind of been settled. What's it like to kind of be a senior and have to adapt to like a new coaching staff?
Well, on the defensive side of the ball, a lot of the schematics are the same because we have Coach Farr coming back, so a lot of the defense hasn't changed. But offensively, I noticed that the guys are really upbeat about it. They love the new offense, love the new coaching staff, and I think overall it's been a successful transition throughout
Right.
the camp.
And every coach has different personalities. Like, what are some differences you've noticed with Coach Raymond compared to when you had Coach Phelps?
Coach Raymond definitely. I mean, we all respected Coach Phelps, but Coach Raymond from day one demanded respect. As soon as he opened his mouth for the first time, it was just like we all kind of accepted him as the role model figure that we had been lacking the past 3 years that I've been here, at least.
Oh yeah. What do you think as far as just the way you guys have adapted as a team? Do you feel like everybody kind of knows what they're doing right now, or is it still kind of a learning experience?
The offense picking up real quicker than I think even the coaching staff expected, and I think that's due to great coaching in the first place, and then the players getting in their playbooks away from football when the coaches aren't watching. And overall, I think everyone's working hard to get it because it is a tough transition learning a new offense. It's like a new language, But they're putting a lot of plays in. And I think we'll be ready for September 4th.
For you individually, I was going to ask you about. I know you didn't play a whole lot your first year here. How did that help you though to go through that experience of kind of having to watch other people and learn? I mean, that's something made you a better player now.
It's good to see people have success, but I think it's better to see people have failures just so you can see where where they screw up. You say I can't be screwing up in that same part.
Yeah.
And with Coach Farr, he puts you in situations where in practice you feel like you're in a game situation. So. Even though I wasn't playing on Saturdays, I was playing Monday through Friday. So I feel like I was prepared, definitely, when I was a junior.
How glad were you, by the way? I mean, because I know it's tough when you lose your coaches and all that. But how glad were you to see him come back at least and not have to start totally from scratch? I mean, was that kind of a sigh of relief?
I mean, when I heard Coach Phelps was leaving first, that was the first thing that went through my mind. Is I was wondering if Coach Farr was going to leave or not.
Yeah.
And I talked to him before, and he wasn't sure if he was going to be able to stay or not. It was it was bigger than us. It was an athletic director decision, and I'm really happy that Coach Raymond decided to keep him for the staff, and that Mrs. Strait decided to keep him. And I know everybody on the defense was psyched when he was coming back.
What do you like about it? Like, what does he do that makes him like popular with you guys? Some other defensive players I talked to liked playing for him too.
Coach Farr is just it's really hard to explain when you have a good coach why he's such a good coach. It's whether it be him explaining things, perfectly, or him just being, easy to talk to or something like that. But he's a coach that if you sat in a meeting with him, you'd understand that everything you do from where your feet are, how far apart they are, everything has to be perfect with him, and you respect that definitely from a coach.
That's just as far as a year ago. I know on the wins-losses side, maybe things weren't so great. But if you look at the stats, you didn't have the stats maybe of a team that had the record you guys had. Does that give you confidence that you aren't really too far from turning the corner here? And
Well, if you look at all our scores last year, we lost to Union in overtime. We lost to RPI 7-10, and that was a broken play on defense. They ended up scoring their touchdown on. So if those two games were different, then you're looking at 5-5, and not to mention the momentum bringing us into other weeks. So I feel like we're so close to turning that corner. And with this new coaching staff and this new offense implemented, we all think that this is going to be the year.
And I was curious too, as far as your role, like being one of the captains and stuff. What's that mean to you to be like a senior leader on the team? And,
it meant a lot to me when I got voted in to be a captain. And the only thing that I can do is what I have done the past 3 years, because the players voted me in because of what I've done the past 3 years. So I'm just trying to help the new guys, the freshmen transition, because we're going to rely a lot on freshmen this year as opposed to other years, and just keep doing what I'm doing, and hopefully the players react to that.
I was curious too. Obviously, he's not here anymore, but having a guy like Gerard on the defense as a player, how did that help you to see everything he did as far as how he handled, the pressure of having people focus on him and stuff like that? I mean, is that something that helped you as a player to kind of get a chance to play with a guy like that? And,
Gerard was definitely a special player. He had physical attributes were amazing, but it was just team chemistry on the defense when it was a focal point was one player. It wasn't as strong as it is now because we can't rely on one player to make 93 tackles in a year, have 10.5 sacks. We need everyone to step up. So we got D linemen that don't feel like they're not going to be able to get to the ball. So everyone's going to step up, and everyone's going to be. We don't need a Gerard. We just need 11 guys doing their own thing.
I had two other things I was going to ask you about. First, going back in time, I was wondering when you picked schools, what was it about this particular place that appealed to you, and what were some of the other places you'd kind of maybe had as close runner-ups when you were?
Well, I'm from New Hampshire, so Plymouth State, the UNH, Keene State was really strong for me. But when I ended up visiting this school, me and my mother sat down, had a long conversation, and realized that I liked it from a people standpoint, the people that I had hung out with on my recruiting trip, and just from a school, and if you see the athletic facilities here, it's just they're second to none. So overall, and the coaching staff at the time, I fell in love with as soon as I met them. So because other coaching staff such as Plymouth State really just they didn't act like you were going to be part of their family. And this place really, they open up and they take you in as part of their family. So that's what really got me.
I was curious too, as far as you being a senior. Obviously, you're going to graduate probably down the road here. What do you have plans for career-wise? Like, what do you want to do for a living when you get done with school?
I'm an economics major right now. Haven't decided exactly what I want to do with that, but it leaves open a lot of possibilities. I want to try to go to grad school and get my graduate degree, just because the economy is not so strong and the jobs aren't exactly opening up. So staying in school is probably the smartest decision for me.
Do you see yourself having any kind of role with football down the road? Like, would you like to be a grad assistant somewhere or something?
Oh, I'd love to be a grad assistant somewhere. Just finding finding something that would have an economics graduate degree and to be able to work there would be, that would be a blessing, because I love the game of football. I've been in it since I was in 3rd grade, and I don't know what it's going to be like coming August when I'm not putting up pads. So hopefully, something works out.
By the way, were you always like a linebacker type player, or did you have any other position you used to play? Or
no, actually, I was an offensive lineman growing up, and then in high school, from freshman to junior year, I was a quarterback, and I was the backup quarterback to a kid who ended up going to Yale to play quarterback. So my senior year, my coach was like, "Do you want to play something different?" I was like, "I'll try defense," and I'm here now.
So it's more fun hitting people than getting hit.
Oh, it was a lot more fun hitting people.
Well, thanks again.